So here's the next 6 problems. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now we could continue with these hanger problems, but you know what? I'm a bit like you guys, and I don't want to write that much, so I don't want to draw the diagram. So I'm going to save these for another day, and I'm going to go back to how we were solving these before. Okay, when we map it out. So again, if we take a look at this equation, see, here's the variable. Now it's not x, it's c. But still you have c times 4 plus 1. So then I'm going to go c times 4. We want to map out everything that's going on to the variable. C times 4 plus 1. And then all of that equals 25, right? And then when we solve it, we just work our way backwards to solve it. You go 25. And then now that we're working backwards, we have these inverse operations, or opposite operations. Divided by 4, and then what we get here, what we land with, is going to be our answer. So I know 25 take away 1 is 24, and if you want, you can put a 24 up here just to kind of remind us what our number is. So 25 take away 1 is 24, and then 24 divided by 4, well, that's 6. So that means I know C equals 6, right? So if you look at number 5, I put the line here just to separate where the variable is and then the two sides, because wherever the variable is, that's what you want to look at first. So we have y, we're multiplying y by 3, and then we're adding 5. So we have y, we're multiplying y by 3, and we're adding 5, and then all of that equals 17. So then when we solve it, we're going to work our way backwards. Start with the 17, and when we go backwards, we're going to put down the opposite operations. Instead of plus 5, it's minus 5. Instead of times 3, it's divided by 3. And then we have our answer here. So 17 take away 5 is 12. And again, we can put the 12 here just to remind us of what our number is. And then 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, it's not too bad. Let's continue with these next 4. Again, I'm going to draw a line just to identify where the variable is. It's over here, and it's times 3 plus 4. So I have to do all of these operations before I jump over to this side. So a times 3 plus 4. So it goes a times 3 plus 4, and all of that equals 13, right? Then we work our way backwards, take the 13, instead of plus 4 it's minus 4, instead of times 3 it's divided by 3, and then we get our answer here. So 13 take away 4 is 9, 9 divided by 3, 3. I didn't put the 9 there. That's that is optional. Again, if you look at number 7, we have the r times 2 plus 1, and then all of that. Again, make sure you do all of these operations before you jump over to the equals 35. So we said r times 2 plus 1, and all of that equals 35, right? And then when we work our way backwards, we start with the 35. Instead of plus 1, it's minus 1. Instead of times 2, it's divided by 2. And this will be our answer. So 35 take away 1 is 34. That's kind of a big number, so I'm going to write it down. And then 34 divided by 2, if you're not sure about that, go ahead and take out a calculator and divide that. But we get 17. Okay. If you need to pause this to get 4 or 5, go ahead, but I'm going to move it up so we can see 8 and 9. So then when we go to 8 and 9, again, here's the equal sign. And we have b times 5 minus 48. So here's b times 5 minus 48. And all of that equals negative 8. And be careful, because this minus 48 kind of looks like this negative 8 when it's just written. Just kind of make a note of that. I think, you know, when we would have our worksheets, the negatives were always in parentheses. And I would tell you guys they would put them in parentheses. That way we know it's a negative and not a minus. And that's one of the reasons why, because when we just write it down like this on paper, that the minus and the negative look the same. So just be aware of that. So when we go backwards, we keep the same number, which was negative 8. Here we put the opposite of minus 48, which is plus 48. And here we put the opposite of times 5, which would be divided by 5. Then, so negative 8 plus 48, that's 40. Let me put 40 in here. And then you have 40 divided by 5. Well, that is 8. Okay. Again, you didn't need to put parentheses around this. I just kind of showed you a reason why they do put parentheses around it. That way you know it's a negative 8 and not minus 8. So for number 9, p times 4 minus 3, all of this first, and then it equals 17. P times 4 minus 3, and all of that equals 17, right? And then work our way backwards. Take the 17, add 3 to it, divided by 4, and then we're like, okay, well, let's check that. 17 plus 3 is 20. 20 divided by 4, 5. Okay. So pause this right now if you need to pause it. I'm going to stop the video and do the last 6 on the next video.